Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by three people from Rome Resources. The first one is Klaus Eckhof, who's a consultant. Then there's Mark Gasson, President and CEO, and Paul Barratt, who's Executive Director at Pathfinder Minerals. How are you today, gents?
Very well,
Good,
thank you.
Good, thank you.
Right. Well, I think one or two people may have heard of Pathfinder Minerals in the past, but maybe Klaus, you can tell us about Rome Resources.
Yeah, Rome Resources is a Congo DRC focused company focused on the commodity tin. From our background point of view, I don't know, we should go through that one too. Is we since 24 years working in the DRC, and we founded a lot of companies there, from Tiger Resources early 2000 to Moto Gold Mines, which is now the Kibali mine in Barratt. So we very focused on the country. And then in 2013, we founded a company which was called Alphamin, which is now one of the biggest tin plays in the world, 4.5% average grade. And then after that, we founded ABZ, which is a lithium play in the middle of the DRC. And after that, we looked at a company, at a project which is north of Alphamin's producing mine now. And we raised some capital privately and then put that into Rome Resources on the TSX. We spent around 4.5 million Canadian there to generate the targets, which are now ready to be drilled out, and hopefully by Q4 to have the first resources out. Having had not much traction in Canada in 2023, we decided to move to the AIM market because there is liquidity there and there was a lot of interest for tin. So we decided to move the company or the assets from the TSX to AIM and delist Rome Resources in Canada. That transaction is nearly complete. Most of the paperwork has been completed. And we think that by first week, second week of July, there will be the IPO listing on the AIM market in conjunction with the capital raising to allow us to drill out a big resource like Alphamin in the south.
And so, I mean, yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell, basically, at the moment.
And so the London market, as you correctly suggest, is resources crazy, but there are a lot of contenders in terms of, you know, which resources company would I choose, which mineral, etc. What are the USPs in terms of Rome compared to maybe some other companies that people might look at or actually already be in?
For a start, the DRC generates historically always world-class assets and mostly very economic. If you look at all the mines there, the grade is king. That's the same, you know, for tin and or gold or copper, whatever you look at. So the DRC has also a very good background. You know, there's no red tape. Once you find something, you can bring it into production 4, 5, 6 years down the track. Not like in Australia or Canada, where it takes you 10 or 15 years to bring something into production now. And because of the grade, you certainly have a big advantage there too. On the other hand too, the tin market has turned. There is no mines who can produce below $20,000 US other than Alphamin in the DRC or San Rafael in Peru. So we now at 35,000 US. And there's still a shortage of tin around. So we actually coming on the market in a very good environment. We are in a top location. We're 8 kilometers to the north of a producing mine, world-class mine, which we found and also developed. So at the end of the day, you know, that should give any investors a little bit of a hint what's coming.
You mentioned the magic phrase "world class." Is that what, you know, could Rome be a world class company in terms of the asset it has in DRC?
Yeah, that's what we historically always have chased, and in probably 80% of the cases, we always came up with a world-class asset in some form. So we certainly convinced that by Q4, once we come out with maiden resources, we have an idea, you know, how big it can be and what the grade can be.
Just want to go on to the experience of the team. Maybe Mark, you can just tell us a bit about what you've done and you know, the pedigree of the board.
Okay, so basically, I'm a geologist, and as Klaus mentioned, what our main project close to Bezier North is the Alfman project, where we took the project from grassroots, no drilling, drilled the first holes and got it up to resource, and eventually up to DFS. So very good geological team, and we're very familiar with the rock types around in that area, which is one of the world's highest grade tin province. And so basically we in a good place to advance our project.
So you could say you know the area like the back of your hand.
Yeah, as well as the back of my hand, yes.
Okay, that's good. Just going on to Paul, I think maybe quite a few listeners, including myself, are familiar with the Pathfinder name and the Pathfinder history. Would you regard Rome Resources as a way of bringing Pathfinder successfully into land?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that Pathfinder shareholders have been fairly long suffering, and once the company became a cash shell last year, I came in to try and do an RTO to identify and push through the RTO. And the positives for this are, I mean, as Klaus has said, the tin grades that we're expecting that have already been drilled out, some of the indications are world class. Tin is a fantastic commodity at the moment in terms of future potential and future market growth, and also the fact that they'll be hitting the ground running straight away. So all the drill pads are all ready to go. We're looking at the minute the money comes in from the IPO, from the relisting, we'll be out there drilling. So a lot of news flow, which is, you know, going to help a lot. There's a lot of interest, and I think a lot of aftermarket interest as well. So yeah, I think it'll do a lot for Pathfinder shareholders.
And obviously, we know that you know, investors tend to be on the London market tend to be, as well as loving resources, they tend to be rather impatient. And so it looks as though you're ticking the boxes in terms of moving those timelines forward relatively quickly.
Yes, hopefully. I mean, as I said, you know, it's ready to roll. I mean, Mark and Jamie, his guy on the ground in DRC, have you know, contracted the drilling, and we've got up to 4 rigs active at any one time. So we'll get a lot done in the next few months.
Well, we look forward to that. In the meantime, Klaus Eckhof, Mark Gasson, and Paul Barratt, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.